get? What's going on here, gang?
Jim, you've played a series of really, really good SEC defenses here. And I know you're probably not going to say this, but are things going to get any easier now in November?
I don't believe that to be true. I'm not, and like we've talked about throughout the season, we're interested in our improvement and going out and playing better. And I think last week we played a little bit better than we had been playing, which is good. And we're looking for that same improvement this upcoming week. We're still making some mistakes that we got to get rid of. And you know, as a coach, it's our job to strive for the perfect ball game. We also know that probably will never happen, but we'll continue to work towards that, and I think our players are doing that. So we'll continue to go out and try to improve the things that we need to get improved on.
What are you now expecting out of Neal this weekend?
Don't know yet. Just seeing how the practices go. He's doing a little bit more every day. We'll make that decision on game day, I'm sure.
What was he able to kind of get
a little bit every day? It seems like there's 10 more plays he's out there for us, and it seems that way. So we'll see. I tell you what, I watch the tape just to see if things are going full speed or not, and we'll find out as it gets into closer to the game. But he appears to be closer than he has been for obvious reasons. It takes time to heal those things, and I'm hoping his mindset's getting closer to playing. We could use him.
What do you like about kind of the emergence of Vincent, Dallas, Pig? You know, those guys in critical situations with some key catches Saturday.
I look back on the past game, and I think that's the most pleasing part of the game is we had several players that wouldn't be called starters that stepped up and made plays. I think Alex Bullard, he stepped in and played a very fine football game. Vincent made plays, Pig made plays, Jacobs made plays in the four. I mean, the kids are out there making plays, and they're enjoying playing football, and we're happy about that. So what I make of it is that they seem to be trying to go out and improve every day on the practice field, and they're playing better.
How do you think Bray responded last week to kind of Coach Dooley challenging him publicly?
Well, the motivation behind his performance, I'll leave that to Tyler to tell you one way or the other. But whatever took place, I think he played his best football game last week from a mental side. He had a pretty solid week of practice. So if he was motivated by that, which I hope he was, because it was very well thought out and talked about, and he needed to go out and play better, and he knew that, and he played better, and we're happy for him.
Jim, with a guy like Pig, how inventive can you get, but maybe not overload? I guess what all can you do with him?
And that tends to be the problem with ever talented little players that you end up finding, young, little, big, old. How do you get them ball, and how creative can you get based on their aptitude to learn things? And Pig has a very good football aptitude. He understands football and he gets it. So it's pretty simple to find things for him, ways to get him the ball. And we've got to continue to do that, but we get 80 plays a game, and you don't want to strive so far away from your base offense that you can't run your base plays. So that's always the harmony we're looking for.
Had he begged you to throw a pass?
What's that?
Had he begged you to throw a pass? He likes to talk about his arm.
I tell you, I don't know if there's anyone in a white jersey over there hadn't begged me to throw a pass. I'm the only one that don't want to throw a pass. They all want to.
The fact that you can run the ball this year, how does that enhance you as a play caller and game strategizer?
It's like a toolbox we've talked about, and if you have the run game, you feel comfortable in dialing up a run, it sure opens up a lot more things. I think it gives your offensive line more confidence to go out and play better, and they're not having to pass protect all the time. It's a heck of a lot different ball game. You have to let those guys, get their ears back and go. It's a hard game for offensive linemen. Our kids up front are playing well, and I hope they continue down that path.
It would seem that's pretty fundamental. If whether you have a good offensive line or one you don't trust as much, so it would really make a difference in, how you game plan.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you're playing good in the front and the line of scrimmage play in this conference or in any level for that matter, if you can feel like you can be successful in the front, it sure does. It makes things a lot easier for you as a play caller, and I like that. So far we've been able to be competitive up front, and I hope we continue that.
Has it been frustrating, not just the end of the game, when you've had an opportunity late in the game, I think, the last drive, that type of thing not getting done, but you've had some other drives where it seems like you guys had the momentum, a chance to tie the ball game, a chance to get a lead, and you haven't been able to put that drive together, maybe that critical time, that critical drive. Is that frustrating?
So any drive that doesn't result in points is frustrating, and so I don't know. You're probably referring to the when we jumped in 2 minutes with 3 and out there in the second quarter, we had a little bit of momentum. Sure it was. We didn't execute the way we needed to execute, and it obviously it didn't work. So it's all about execution and discipline, and we're getting better at that, but we're not ready to go out there and score on every possession yet. We sure would like to be able to do that, but unfortunately that's just not the way it's going, and we got to continue to strive for that. If our guys will do what they're told to do and what they know to do right, we usually have a measured amount of success because we do have enough talent to be able to move the ball.
Jim, do you feel like your guys have put pressure on themselves that they have to score?
I don't sense that at all. I think our kids go out and play to play.
You kind of talked a little bit about it, but is it even more frustrating when you guys have a drive where you go down the field very methodically, efficiently, and make it look easy almost, and then you have other drives where you kind of shoot yourself in the foot?
Like so Brent, yeah, it's frustrating anytime you don't score points. Yeah, our job is to go score points, and when we don't, you get frustrated. So that's okay. We go to work. That's what we work on during practice. We don't go out and work on those drives we just scored touchdowns on. We just keep those the way they are.
You mentioned Bullard and what he did.
Yeah.
Can you talk about through 8 games what James Stone's put together this year?
Well, you haven't noticed it much, have you? That's a perfect. You've just said it all about an offensive lineman. He's doing a nice job. He's delivering the ball accurately to the quarterback. He's getting us in the right schemes for the most part up front, and I'm real tickled how he's playing. I really prefer not to talk about it.
How do you or can you teach like closing? Like those drives that you talk about, late game scenarios.
You concentrate on execution. Doesn't matter if it's the first play or the last play. You got to go out and execute the play that's called and do the best you can. And you got to try to be detailed when you're tired at the end of the ball game. And that's all you can ever do.
Is it sometimes a matter of slowing down mentally when looking at the clock, looking at the situation, knowing what's on the line?
I think every kid's makeup's differently. Some need to slow down, some need to speed up. It's all about concentrating on the details of your assignment and executing the play.
When you see a performance like Rodgers had this past weekend, does that change things, get him the ball more, look to him more?
No, I think he's been playing that way for the most part all season. He stayed relatively healthy, and he's been excited about playing. And when his number's called, he's been able to step up and make plays. So I don't see anything change one way or the other.
Anything else?
Coaching so many high schools playing spread offenses, how tough is it to find a quarterback that's taking snaps under center and plays the style that you guys do?
That's always tough, but you end up having to teach these kids to do it. I don't think Worley took a snap under center. I don't think Bray did. So it's always just a fundamental thing you got to teach most of them when they come in.
And what about Peterman? Did he play?
Yeah, I think Nate's been under center a little bit, more than the other two have.
How